Hello and welcome back to PresenterMedia. This is Kara Jones, and today I am going to bring you a what's what of the PresenterMedia SlideClip online video maker. This is a tool that we introduced about a year ago, and it is being updated continuously based on the feedback we're getting from our customers. And what it does is it allows our customers to create their very own video project and then upload it to their preferred social media. With that being said, let's get started. In the background, you can see I have our website open. I'm just going to go ahead and click on SlideClip Video Maker, and it's going to take us to our landing page. This allows us to start a project either from scratch or from a template. Just depends on what is your preference. By scrolling down, you can see some of the templates that we already have created for you. If a template has an audio file, it will have a little set of headphones below it. And if you simply put your mouse over any project, you'll actually get to see a preview. If you want to hear the audio that goes on a template that actually has sound, go ahead and just click on the little set of headphones and you will be able to hear those sounds. If you find a project that you want to use, go ahead and click on it, and it's going to open up a brand new SlideClip project for you. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the user interface. SlideClips is designed for you to be as complex or simple as you like for your project. Working across the top, we have our main menu, which is going to be based on whatever item it is you have selected. So if we click on the letter W, we can change the font size, the spacing, the horizontal spacing, what style, whether you have it bold or underlined, how it's aligned. You can even add different shadow effects and stroke effects to the text. You can change the color of the text, the amount of transparency, and you can be able to change the order of it on the slide. So if you want to send it, behind all these snowflakes or have it in front of them, you can do that. Additionally, by right-clicking on an object, you can be able to open up similar tools. You can move it to the front or the back. So we'll say bring to front, and you'll notice it's going to jump in front of these little snowflakes that are right in front of it. All right, so now the W has been moved to the front. And if you want to change the color, simply click on the color option, find a color that you want to use, and click Save. You'll notice that it does get that changed for you right away. Next up, we will work down the left side. These are our slides. Just like in PowerPoint, you can be able to click and drag a slide from one part of a project to another. So there's no rules saying that you have to have the slides in any given order. You can add a slide by clicking on the little plus sign, and you can either add a blank slide, which is just going to insert a blank canvas for you, or you can add a slide from a project. By default, it's going to show you your projects that you've already created, so this is any other SlideClip project. You can click on Slide Library though, and that's going to show you the pre-made slide projects that we have. So in this case, I grabbed one of our neon projects. So we do have all of these alphabet letters that are in neon sign colors. So this is just a fun thing that if you wanted to be able to take it and build your very own Merry Christmas so it looked like it was made out of neon and it was flickering, you can actually do that. So you can see how these are lighting up like this. You could actually be able to change it so you can see it lighting up. If you want to select multiple slides, simply click on one of the slides, hold down your Shift button, and then you can click on the garbage can if you want to remove both of those slides. When you are working in the canvas, you have the ability to change the length of the slide that you're currently working on. Just by looking below the canvas, you have a little slider right here. This is changing the total length of the slide. So right now the slide is going to last 12 seconds. And it gives you your total project time a little bit further to the right. By clicking on the background, you can change what the background image is. So by default, we do have some standard still backgrounds that are just kind of ambient style backgrounds that work for a lot of different purposes. You can also go to My Uploads though, so if you have uploaded backgrounds for your company, you can be able to use those. Next, we have our slide library, and this is our insert menu right here. So we have our slide library, My Uploads, which is anything you've uploaded, My Media, which is anything you have done for customizable media for our website. So if you have made any different colors or any custom text items, those are going to be living in your My Media. The same thing as you go to My Media at PresenterMedia.com. We can insert text boxes, which is just like Word. You just select the font face that you want to use. You'll get a little basic text box right here, and you can double click and be able to change the text that's there. And if you notice as I'm typing, we have this little quick text edit area over here. You can actually be able to change that, change the text on any of these layers just by using this quick menu, which is really helpful. And by hitting tab, it'll move to the next box down, and so on and so forth. So like I said with the W, when we have this selected, we can change the font face again if we so choose to. We can be able to change the size of the font. That's just going to be a little slider bar up and down. You can also click the corners to change the size of the font. If you use the left and the right dots though, you can just change the size of the text box without changing the size of the font. So that's a fun little thing you can use. You can change the rotation by clicking on the dot at the very top of the text box if you want to have it show up rotated a little bit. And again, you can change that transparency, so if you want it to be a little bit see-through, you can definitely do that. All right, moving on. We have Titler, which is animated title elements. So you can put these into any slide that you already have. They're not slides all by themselves, they're animations that have text boxes built into them along with different visual effects. So these are a whole bunch of just pre-made, readily available pieces for you to use. So that way you don't have to worry about getting the animations timed out just right. And this is a library that we do keep adding to, so this is something that we will continue to grow. We have basic shapes, so this is going to be like your icons that you're used to seeing and your, squares, circles, rectangles, that sort of thing. Clip art, which is going to be the entire PresenterMedia clip art library. This includes customizable text items. So if you have a preference for one of our customizable items, you can actually be able to load the item and then change it, and then you can actually save it right from the project. So we will grab this student, we can click on her and be able to place her wherever we want to. Now if we go to My Media, anything we've customized, like I said, is going to be living there. So if we just grab, this is just one that I'm going to build real quick. Let's say these kids riding a snowflake, because that's pretty adorable. If we want to change this little girl's jacket color to green, let's give her a little bit more red hair color. Save and download. Now she's saved in My Media. When I click on My Media, she's going to be right there. Now when I go back to SlideClips, if I go to My Media, here she is. Just click on her, and she is ready to be used in this project. Animations are the entire library of animations from PresenterMedia. These all insert with a clear background, so bear that in mind. And this does include items with custom text. So in the ones that have custom text, it says your custom message. We can click on the edit button, and it's going to open up our editor here. And if I just want to say happy winter everyone, And I don't like this orange, so I'm going to click on the sign color here, click on the color icon up there, and I'm just going to grab this kind of nice blue-gray color. Click on Build Custom Graphic. It's going to pop up over the right saying that it's working. Then we'll see this shrink up and then go back to our main page. While the project is building, keep that in mind, building, it's going to show up as kind of see-through. So I'm just going to kind of move this little guy down here. And when it is done, it'll go back to being solid and we'll be able to actually see that project. Next up, like I said, we do have backgrounds, and you can access it here, or when you don't have anything selected on the slide at all. By default, if you just click on the slide by itself, it will allow you to change the background. Next up, we have our videos. This is the PresenterMedia video library, and that does include those new logo reveals that we're creating. So you can be able to open one of these bad boys, click on that edit. It's going to open that editor again. You can change that logo to be one of your designs. So I'll change it to the PresenterMedia logo. It just needs to be able to fit inside of this box. So we'll just shrink it down a little bit there and click build. Now this one will take a little longer because our website does have to render out the whole video. It's not just a single standalone image, but you can see that our animation is already done, so that little guy's hanging out right down here. And if we want to see it play, you can either click on the slide, so click off it and click back on, or you can click on the preview button. When we preview it, you will end up getting the audio that is overlaid for this whole project, so just bear with me while you listen to that. So granted, this is just some random, video that we have in the background, but and that shows you completed project. Now, the next thing is, how do you change the audio file in a project? If a slide has an audio file attached to it, you will see a little sound icon. So if I click on music, let's do mischief. Okay, so this one works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on play, then I'm going to get a pop-up and it's going to ask, do I want to play on this one slide or across the project? So if I play on just this slide, then this is going to insert as a single object for this slide, which means when I move to the next slide, even if it's, so this is a 23-second song, this slide only lasts 12 seconds. So after 12 seconds, this audio file is going to stop playing. Then it's going to go to the next slide. And the next slide is going to have either the background music playing or whatever its own music is. You can say play across multiple slides if you want this to get attached to the entire project. So think of it like an outline, right? This is a higher level that it's going to attach to, and it's going to play across multiple subsections of the project. So in our case, I'm going to click play on this slide just so I can show you guys. Like I said, you get this little icon up here that shows you the file. Now, if you look at the bottom of our canvas, you can see that you can play just that audio file. And this is going to be nice because you can control the volume of that project. So now you can be able to see how much quieter it is. And then if I want it to be somewhere in the middle, click middle, play again. It doesn't change it while you're actively playing the song, but the next time that you click on the play button, it'll change for you. You can choose if the audio has a fade in and a fade out effect. That means that when you are playing it, you'll hear it. So I'll just go to all the way maximum volume. But the first 3 seconds is going to be building up to the full volume of that song. So you can see it kind of ramps up. And then fade out is the same thing, but keep in mind, this is a 26-second song, so it's way out here for the end of the song. Now, the song is also housed in this advanced timeline and audio button down here at the bottom. If you click on this, hang in there. This again says advanced for a reason. So for just the current slide, you can see every animated element in the slide, including the audio file. If you click on Project Audio and Music, you can see which audio files are playing across the whole project. So what we'll do in this particular case, we have your audio. This is if you want to upload your own audio. Music, you can add your own music. And again, this is for the whole project. This is to play the whole length. Now, if you want to shorten it, you can just go to the very end and grab it. You'll get the little icon dragging over it. And you can choose when it stops. You can also choose whether it's playing with volume or not. And you can be able to choose to fade in and fade out. Again, this is for your whole project. So you can see we have each of those 3 slides right there. Back to our current slide timing. Again, you can see each of those sections of animations. If you open My Media, you can download your project again, or you can click on the redo button. The redo button is going to relaunch SlideClips, so you can be able to get in there and be able to change the elements around. So let's say there's a layout that you really like, but you need to be able to change a few things. This will give you that ability to do that. So in this case, I'm going to change this snowman picture. We're just going to change out the background here. We'll just do this one here. This is a crop, so it's going to ask me if I want to, where I want to have that square line up, because it's going to fit the same dimensions as that snowman. There we go. We'll have this, and we're going to give it a fade animation, which you can see these are our animation effects down here. We're going to have a delay by just a second. We'll say 2 seconds. And play. Next up, we're going to click File, Save and Download. It's going to render. We're going to have a little timer pop up here on the side. So it'll take 45 seconds for this file to get done. You can close this while it's working. I am going to leave it open so you guys can see that this, where it says processing, this will actually turn into a download link for you. So you can then download the finished project as an MP4 file. And again, it will be stored in your My Custom Media. Here is our link. We'll click download. It's going to pop up at the bottom here. It's downloading that whole video. And here we go. So we now have our MP4. This is just playing in Windows Media Player, so it'll, size up or size down, whatever the case may be. I think that's about as small as I can make it, dimensions-wise. And now that it's an MP4, you can upload it to Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, your website, your blog, your newsletter. Your newsletter will probably work better if you put it as YouTube and embed it to your newsletter as an HTML object. The list goes on. So these templates give you the ability to create your own advertisements, to create your own little social media blurbs. I've been having a blast creating quotes of the day and today in history. I hope this video was explanatory for you and that it helped, like I said, demystify some of what SlideClips is and how it works. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave a comment below. And as always, let's make great presentations.